I'm debating on telling my brother whose wife recently died that his daughters are biologically mine. My brother Richard's wife Sarah recently passed away from cancer and he's absolutely devastated. At the moment, he doesn't want to see or speak to anyone, only his daughters. He has twin daughters that are 12 years old and they're absolutely wonderful girls. The thing is, I'm actually the true biological father of those girls. Sarah had an affair with me shortly after they had gotten married. This lasted 4 months and I'll even say those months with Sarah were amazing. My brother Richard, who now owns his own sports bar, was helping his best friend with his own bar at the time. While Richard was away, Sarah and I became much more closer and comfortable together. We went to Vegas for the first time, traveled everywhere together and cared for each other in ways we never expected. There was plenty of unprotected intimacy with her during these 4 months, which obviously led to the twins being born. Sarah was a beautiful, sweet and incredible person. So silly and hilarious, someone you really wanted to spend time with. She'll light an entire room up with her smile alone. I'm not sure why we did what we did, but what's done is done. I'm not going to say I didn't enjoy it, because I loved the time I spent with her. We just so happened to be alone for a certain time at that moment. We became friendly and very close, things happened unexpectedly. I'm not going to debate with you all if Sarah and I are assholes for having an affair. We know what we did was wrong, but at the time it felt absolutely right and we didn't care about the consequences. Eventually she did get pregnant and around the same time Richard returned. I got DNA tested to see if I was the father, which I obviously was, and everything came back positive. But what happened next was unbelievable. I'm debating on telling my brother whose wife recently died that his daughters are biologically mine. So Sarah used the time my brother returned back home as the reason she got pregnant. I assumed they had intimacy and Sarah used that as the reason for her pregnancy. We had a mutual agreement that we were never going to tell Richard what happened as it would devastate him. As the twins grew up, they began to look more and more like me. I don't think Richard ever clued in. Richard loves the twins so much, it's beautiful to see. He actually teared up when Sarah announced she was pregnant. He really wanted to be a father so badly and he finally was. He's a wonderful father and the twins are very attached to him. I don't blame them, he's a really fun and sweet man and I'm sure the two girls feel very loved and safe with him. When Sarah got cancer, Richard was obviously devastated. Near the end of her illness, Sarah told me that eventually she would like Richard and the girls to know what happened between us. She made me promise to tell them. I promised her that I would just to give her some peace. She passed away last month. I still have not told Richard and I don't think I ever will. He has been hyper-depressed since Sarah died and telling him this would just devastate him, let alone ruin our relationship. His daughters are the only people that are with him, they're super strong girls loving and are comforting their father through all of this. For 12-year-olds, they're very strong and it definitely shows how strong the bond is between the three of them. For all practical reasons, the twins are his daughters. He is the one that has raised them and neither of them know any different. Especially since Sarah died, I think it would just be cruel to tell him that his daughter's not even biologically his. On the other hand, I did promise Sarah that I would tell him the truth. I know I personally would want to know the truth if I was in Richard's position. But that's just me. I wouldn't want to break his heart again. He's gone through so much. I don't know if it would be better for this to be out in the open or not.